Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be taking another brief look at Cardano to see what's been going on with the price action here of ADA. As I get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. Right, let's jump right down into Cardano here. So we are paired up with USDT. We are on the hourly chart. We're using Binance as our data source for this one. So if you wanted to replicate this, just hop onto TradingView, put all that data in, and you should be good to go. So essentially what we've got here is this kind of move to the upside. Now I have got a Fibonacci retracement tool just running in the background here, and that's basically taking a look at this move here to the upside. Okay, this is effectively when we were at $1.01, I think. Let me just get the exact cost on there from the 101.1. Okay, so that was the high point. Then we led down a little bit lower, reaching this bottom again, a higher low than what we were over here. Okay, this was a fantastic point, and we started to see a good run to the upside. This also comes on the back of institutional level of adoption being made more public than it was previously. But we've been talking about that for a while from a fundamental point of view. Now, from a TA perspective, what we actually had here was 5 impulsive moves just here. Okay, these impulsive moves are really critical to understand. Essentially, you got 5 waves just at this moment. Then we had an ABC correction just here, okay? And essentially what that was a 3-wave move. This has then led us into this move just now. This is another 5 waves up, okay? So really important that we understand what those are and what they mean, right? Because at the moment, we have a structure of 5, 3, 5, and we are potentially tracking with another structure of 3. Okay, when you have a structure of 5, 3, 5, 3, it's pretty reasonable that you should be expecting 5 waves afterwards. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, this means a great deal for Cardano. Specifically with the larger time frames. And I'm going to go through that in a moment. But before we do that, what we want to do is we just want to jump down a little bit of detail here on this hourly chart as we start to map up what is going on with this move right here. Okay, so essentially what we want to do is we want to measure the distance of this downward directional move here, right? Essentially this is an A wave, okay, this being a B wave, and there's a potentially a C wave coming down a little bit lower. That completes the entirety of the move. Now it is possible that there is an ABC inside here, okay, and we could acknowledge that. So we want to also understand, you know, what would invalidate any further lows and what would confirm those lows. Okay, so from a bare minimum perspective, we're talking about $1.10. Okay, and you end up with a double bottom, which will be a bull flag, right? We end up something like this. Not flag's probably a bad word. It's a bull signal. Okay, so we end up with a double bottom, and then we move on up from there. Alternatively, of course, you know, we've actually had the ABC inside here, and we're now tracking some kind of thing upwards. If we go higher than we were up here at $1.19, if we go higher than $1.19, effectively we've got confirmation that this low is done, and we don't have to worry about going down any lower within this particular wave count. But I do think good structure here is actually what we're looking at, and you know, this basically means that we have an ABC move, and there's a high probability that we're going to bring our C wave down towards $1.08. Okay, and we also take a look at good area of support just down here, so I will mark that up right about there. You can see this falls right in on the 108.6. So there's a good chance that this is going to be our area of support, and you know, we want to be kind of looking at some resistance, support level, retest the support, and then we move on out. Okay, and again, we were expecting from that point an impulsive breakout. Okay, now for this impulsive breakout, I'm expecting to pass a key technical area, okay, on that journey. So I'll shoot this down. The area is 126.7. Okay, 126.7 is an absolutely critical area for Cardano, and I'm going to go through why that is right now. So in order to understand this, we're going to hop on up into our daily view. Okay, so here we can actually see that Fibonacci retracement tool making a little bit more sense, right? And we've obviously got these areas of resistance that I've drawn on. So essentially what we've got is effectively right now an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, right? The C wave actually has gone past the 1.382, but it hasn't gone to the 1.618. Now, in order for this to be classed as an impulsive move, where it has that structure that I was just talking about, the structure being essentially, you know, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Okay, so for that good structure, which is what we are looking at inside this C wave right here, it's only inside the C wave, we'll note. Okay, we have to pass this 1.618. And in doing so, this C wave actually converts itself into a wave 3. Essentially, what we're talking about here is that we can remove our ABC move and we can convert it into a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. We pull back, there will be a pullback, but we should never cross wave 1. And then we get the next move up higher. Okay, that fifth wave going up much higher. Okay, so when we talk about structure, what we've got is we've almost got a perfect wave 3, okay, which has the 5, 3, 5, 3, 5 waves, okay, and that's all inside this potential wave 3. So as long as we hit this 1.618, that structure exists, which means we end up with a larger ABC move in the same way that we saw over here within this wave 4. The only exception really is that wave 4 tends to be more complicated and more of a complex correction than the wave 2. Wave 2 tends to be quite deep in its corrective state, but you know, this one here potentially might be an expanding flat correction, or it might be you know, some kind of running flat correction, double correction, triple correction, something like that, right? It's usually complex, which means, you know, normally it takes some time. And this is something that we're familiar with on Cardano because we've already experienced the expanding flat correction within this wave 4 on our weekly chart, right? We have it right here, and we can just grab hold of our trend line. We have one there. This is not exactly accurate, but you get the idea, guys, right? So we end up with this megaphone pattern. It has lots of different names, but in terms of Elliott wave theory, what we've actually got here is an expanding flat correction, right? The A wave comes down, the B wave goes higher than the origin, and the C wave comes down lower than the A wave. Pretty standard practice. So when it comes to fourth wave corrections, specifically if this is something that we're going to be, you know, talking about for our potential fourth wave here, you know, it is going to be complex and there's lots of different corrective patterns, but we want to be watching out for that. And this is the opportunity to catch that final fifth wave. Okay, now all of this, and this is a really important note, right? All of these waves here on this daily chart will account, in my opinion, as one wave in here. Okay. Then we'll have a deeper corrective pullback again, shocking people. And then we'll go into a wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. Okay, now obviously all of this, these 5 waves on this weekly chart, as a map, will map into this one and singular fifth wave up here. Okay, so the good structure that we're seeing right now is a true foundation of what is to come here for an impulsive breakout on Cardano after completing its expanding flat correction. Now, for good structure, we want to make sure that we never drop down any lower than some of these key levels. This wave 2, for example, this wave 2 might be testing the waters quite heavily by coming all the way back down into these lower ranges. Again, this is actually very much good structure for a wave 2. That's usually the deeper correction out of the one and wave 2 and wave 4, right? And so once we actually complete this wave 5, there's going to be a pretty deep corrective move that's going to basically correct our stochastic RSIs. This is going to be a shock to the system for many people who maybe been FOMOing in on that wave 1. Essentially, this will be short-lived though. Once this correction is over, we'll be into a real big FOMO phase of wave 3. And again, to highlight this on a grander scale, we can actually just zoom out here and pay attention to what happened with this structure of where we're tracking so far, right? Wave 1 from the March 2020 lows up to August and July of 2020, we actually pulled back really low here, and it wasn't a significant pullback that you would normally expect with a wave 2, but we actually got away with that quite a bit. Then we went into a real FOMO phase in early 2021, and then we're pulling back down, and obviously we've seen everyone kind of calling this corrective state that we've been in as a bear market and all sorts of different names. Now, ultimately, if you come from traditional finance, yeah, you're going to get scared by, you know, every single Monday that comes around here in the crypto space. But if you've been in the crypto space for a while, you know that this is not a bear market. Bear markets are prolonged periods of downward trend that actually, you know, last a very, very significant amount of time. I mean, just take a look at what happened from 2018 through to 2020, right? And what we are right now, this is not bear market. This is good structure for corrective patterns within the data. So essentially what we've got here is a really good move on the weekly. And obviously all eyes are on $1.26.7 as the key motive move and to make sure that we actually stick to that structure. Failure to hit this on the daily chart is going to potentially be quite damaging to the overall structure, and we want to make sure that we have that structure going further forward. In terms of the 8-hourly and the 4-hourly, they've actually come down nicely, so we're looking for a big push to the upside based on the 4-hourly chart, and once this corrective move comes in, we should be looking at that high point, at least of $1.26.7, in my opinion, and before we start to go into a larger kind of fourth wave corrective move, and then obviously going into that final fifth wave higher. So ultimately Cardano is in a really good spot. Obviously, if you've been taking advantage of everything that we've kind of been saying for a while, this was a fantastic opportunity here at the low points of this wave 2. But also these low points down here, right? We're dollar cost averaging on the way down here. This is a fantastic opportunity. We've been riding that up, and there will be another corrective state. So we want to be very aware of what wave we're in, and obviously to take advantage of the potential downward swing here for more accumulation ahead of the next leg. Obviously, then that was just the final fifth wave within wave 1. Essentially, there's going to be a big corrective stage coming in the near future, and that will basically be ushering in some deep corrections that will allow us to basically dollar cost average a much better position. It's only slightly longer term. So ultimately, we're in a really good spot here with Cardano. I wanted to kind of give you a brief technical update on what I'm seeing inside the data. So if you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, so select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.